What is going on, everybody? It is Erock here, bringing you guys a brand new video. Hope you guys are all having a great day today. Today's video, I was going to go over a couple ranked tips to help you guys get further on in the season, whether you're stuck in silver, stuck in gold, stuck in platinum. Just a few tips that I think could help you. If you're already in like Predator or around that area, I wouldn't really bother watching this video because you probably don't need tips. So this is probably for more of the beginner players that are stuck, that might need a couple tips to help you get to Diamond. That's where I currently am, and that's currently where this gameplay is going from. It is my game going into Diamond from Platinum. It was a pretty good game. If you guys enjoy this video, make sure you leave a like on it and subscribe. It's absolutely free. And if you are interested in watching any Twitch streams, link's going to be in the description box down below. We try and go about 2 to 3 times a week, on top of trying to produce some sort of content for you guys on YouTube. Any and all support really helps. So without further ado, let's get into some tips that I think could help you guys go from one section that you're in to the next section. So tip number 1 is probably the hardest out of all of these I'm going to give. It's actually getting a team together. I know a lot of people on here in this game solo queue ranked. I've seen a few people in my comment section saying how they've been struggling just playing by themselves. So before I go further, I just want to offer, if you guys want to go into my Discord, I'll leave a link to it in the description box. If you guys want to use my Discord as a place to come together to try and look for a team, I will do that. I will do so. I will leave an area for you guys that you can go in and join, try and look for teammates. But I believe that is the first thing, because going into a game with a set team every game, you're going to build chemistry. You're going to know each other's strengths and weaknesses. You're going to become familiar with what loadouts you guys are familiar with, so you know what to call out while you're looting. You can strategize easier. Communication is the biggest thing in this game. I know the ping system is very well, and I'm super happy that Apex included this, but there's nothing better than actual hearing your teammates call out, where to push, what they're looking for. And absolutely nothing is more frustrating than having a random teammate that thinks they're better off playing as a one-man army and just going, getting killed, and costing you guys points. So I would probably say the most important tip out of all these is getting a set team together to be able to play, talk, communicate, and do so. Going into the next step kind of reiterates with the first step that I went with, is establishing communication with your teammates, or if you're with randoms. If you're queuing up with randoms, it isn't an ideal situation to begin with, but there's no way to make it any worse than completely disregarding them. If you're queuing alone or with a single friend, take the extra step to branch out and just try and talk to them. See if they'll communicate back and everything, and you never know, you might just end up getting a win with that person, and you also never know, that could end up being your primary third moving forward. If you end up doing well with them, there's also the easy way to quickly invite them after the game that Apex introduced into this game as well. So you might as well talk it out, see if your third is somewhat reliable, and if so, easily get them into your squad for the next match. The next step here, I would have to say, is coordinating your legends to ranked mode. Now, Mirage is someone I would not use in ranked mode. Lifeline, she has her positives and negatives, but I don't see Lifeline being as good as she used to be in ranked. Yes, she has the heal drone and everything, but Lifeline could be not a great selection as much anymore. Revenant, I still can't see being a great pick. His abilities got buffed recently, but to me, still in a ranked scene, not that great. Octane, he's all right with his jump pad, but you might as well just run a Pathfinder if you're looking for something like that. His grapple hook comes in right away every minute or two, and with Octane, yes, he recovers health and everything, but you can just get into that faction where he'll just push right away, and just his super speed and everything. So my top picks for ranked, I would say, are Pathfinder. You probably should always run a Gibby. Caustic can be like a maybe on the borderline. Bangalore is also on the maybe. Definitely, I would always try and have a Wraith. Bloodhound, even with his update or his upgrades, I really don't see him being a valuable pick. Crypto and Watson I believe are pretty situational, but I think Watson definitely is a great pick when it comes to ranked. So yeah, just based off of those things, I would primarily just look for Pathfinder, Gibraltar, Wraith, Watson, and then with the occasional Bangalore Lifeline and Caustic mains. Everyone else I guess you could use, but it might end up hurting your team down the line because more legends have better abilities that could be more team orientated. The next tip I have for you guys are where you're landing. Now, first, I have kind of two tips that you can do here. Either A, I would try and land in the same place every time as long as you know you have good loot coming from it and you have a good rotation off of it. Or B, try and land quietly off the drops. What I say by that is if you're playing on Kings Canyon, do not land Skulltown every time. I know you guys want to get points right off the start, get all the kills, but a lot of people don't realize that in ranked play, you only get points per 5 kills. If you get 6, 7, 15 kills, you don't get additional points for that. You might as well try and land in a not so hot place, get the loot you're going to get, rotate properly, and as you survive longer, when you get kills later on in the game, your multiplier goes up. So you might as well try and get kills later on in the game, unless you're kill hungry, I guess. Ignore that. But if you're trying to get points and trying to rank up more, try and drop in quieter locations. It may seem like a defeatist attitude, but it's a simple matter of playing the numbers. Hot drops situations are easily the most lethal, and dying there is the best way to lose the most valuable points. Dropping further out and later than the rest alone will likely get you into 10th place as a minimum, which scores you at least 2 rank points in certain playlists. So that, and definitely while you're landing, I tend to like to look at the back of the ship to see how many teams have already dropped prior to me. So those are just my tips when it comes to landing. You can follow them if you would like, but take it with it if you want. Next tip here is survival is pretty key. To put it simply, avoiding unnecessary gunfights will likely score you higher points than potential kills, because like I said, you only get points per once you reach 5. RP is scored from kills, it's capped off, while just surviving into the top 3 will get you a net of 7. Managing to actually win the game is worth staggering 12 extra ranked points, and then playing it low, slow, and sneaky pays off in some situations. It all depends on your rotation. It reduces the frustrating instances of being victimized by a third party, which results in much more RP, but inevitably you gain points faster by just holding off and staying alive longer. But that's also going to go into my next important tip here, is the third party. So while being the third party in a gunfight is obviously the ideal situation, there are a few finer points to pulling it off that can't go ignored, often with disastrous results. The most important to mention is timing. Observing and waiting until one squad has won the initial fight is key, as the surviving combatants may be likely injured and trying to heal. Their first order of business typically is looting their kills and reviving their fallen squad mates. Both of these actions leave them exposed, stationary, and inattentive, making them good for headshots, close-range ambushes that will also drop them before they know it. So when it comes to third partying, yes, you always want to be on the lookout to potentially third party, but you also have to look at where zone is, how far out of zone you're going to be, your next rotation coming into it, if you have that potential to be third partied as well. So when it comes to third partying, like I just said, follow those tips. But to me, if you do third party, make sure you understand and idealize what loot you already have, what loot you need, and if you finish off the fight and end up winning, be very hesitant and loot quickly from that scenario, because you have to always think that another team is going to third party the fight that they just heard. When it comes to third partying as well, another tip here is to always try and be on the flanking end. This advice can be applied to practically every gunfight. It's very dependent on your positioning. Map positioning, I think, is huge. Trying to stand and maintain high ground. Maintaining map control in a lot of situations in this game power out like aim, in my opinion. You could have someone with better aim than you, but if you have a way better position than them, whether you're on a head glitch, if you have slight head or a high ground, I think that plays in a factor way more, but take that stuff with a grain of salt as well. And finally, what I would say is, I kind of talked about this in the beginning, but make sure you're running with a class setup that you are most comfortable with. Whether you want to be the sniper of the team, make sure that's coordinated with your team. Whether you are a close range player, whether you like to run the R99 PK or something along those lines, make sure you guys are coordinating loadouts together, what you're comfortable with. If you don't want to use a hemlock and you're forced to pick it up, try and get something else. Try and hold it off till you can get that weapon you want. Don't be stuck with a gun that you're uncomfortable with, because in the end that's probably going to put your team in a bad situation, and it's going to likely cause some fatalities on your team. But so those are just a few tips I have that can potentially help you guys out in ranked mode. I hope it wasn't too just all over the place, but I felt like utilizing some of these tips could help you guys definitely level up for where you currently are. These are more so basic tips. Advanced players, I'm sorry if this wasn't something you weren't looking for, but following this stuff has helped me achieve Diamond. I haven't played ranked very long, like match count wise, so the fact that I'm already in Diamond I think is pretty cool. I know the season's been going on long, but I'm just saying, on a personal note, I haven't played a lot of matches total in ranked, so being in Diamond from where I am is definitely achieving. So if you guys did find any of this sort of thing helpful, please leave a like on the video and potentially subscribe. Like I said before, it's free. And if you are interested in any Twitch streams, link's going to be in the description box down below. I will leave my Discord down below as well if you guys want to talk, try and find teammates. So yeah, thank you guys for the support as always, and I'll see you in the next one.